Yeah, I remember first seeing the Dragons, and you guys were all wearing scarves and stuff like that. It was at Bodie's.
We wanted to go for the kind of like the Black Crowes and Izzy Stradlin's solo, and kind of that vibe.
You didn't really find yourself yet, I don't think.
Yeah, because that was like kind of the end of that hair metal, and it was kind of, there was always that kind of like Jane's Addiction scene, kind of like the people with hats and eyeliners, you know. But then there was like the Casbah scene, you know, the alternative scene, and we played all of it, but we never really had our own spot, you know. It took us like 3 years to kind of become what we became, you know.
But you got an album out in Spain.
Yeah. So we just, you know, we were such shitty you know, like when a band starts, you get a van, print a bunch of T-shirts, and you go on tour, right? We didn't know how to do that. I guess we didn't know any better, you know. It was like the days of trying to get signed to a major label, you know. So we just practiced 3 times a week, played every show we, you know, got offered, and we'd record demo tapes, go into the studio and record. Yeah. So that's why we had like 3 demos recorded. So that's why that album came about. And it was funny because I remember you asking me for a copy for that because you said you knew you gave me a copy. I'm like going, really? Yeah. You know, I didn't remember it, but I found it and I gave it to you, and I was listening to it because I don't know why you'd want it because I don't think it's that good. And then I remember I listened to it again and with fresh ears, you know, 30 years later, and it's like, oh, it's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad. Yeah, that's what me and Mario were saying.
You're right.
You know, but you could see how we were kind of more rock and roll, you know, not the faster songs.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we didn't really tour. We did like actually the first show was at Bacchanal. It was like March of '91.
The Dragons.
Yep. And
March of '91.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we
that early.
We opened up for fucking Wild Child, the Doors cover band.
Ah, okay. I remember.
And it was the Doors movie was coming out at that time.
Oh, wow.
So this place, Bacchanal, was so packed, and then, you know, so it was our first show. So Steve had a lot of friends. So Steve had sold all these tickets for the Dragons, you know.
Wow.
So these guys, the Bacchanal was like, oh my God, you guys are
big draw.
You know, you guys could be our house band. I'm going, this is our first show. You know, everyone's going to come to the first show. So then we play the first show, and it's fucking packed. And I still have the video. We play a pretty good show. And then from there, we went to South by Southwest. We drove 24 hours out to Austin. Played a couple shows around.
In '91.
Yeah, Austin, South by. Then we came home, and they had a local showcase at the Bacchanal, right? It was us, Baba Yaga.
Yep.
Greg
Page.
Yep. Oh. And I don't remember the other bands, but then there was like fucking 5 people there. They're probably like, oh my God, the Dragons are going to bring in a lot of people again. So we're the headliners. This is our second show in San Diego, and we're headlining on like a Tuesday night, and we get there and it's fucking there's no one. It was like, you know, girlfriends and a couple friends, and then we're like, oh shit.
But you did that a lot because the Dragons would play 3 times a week.
Yeah, we played.
If you weren't rehearsing 3 times a week, you were playing live 3 times a week.
But then we kind of got into the, you know, it took us, you know, like I said, 3 years to get into that, you know, kind of the Casbah thing, you know, where we had a following.
Well, Dennis helped get you into that.
Yeah, so we first, we're doing all of the Bacchanals and, you know, the OB, PB, everything, you know, wherever there was a show we play. But then we started playing Grannies.
Yes.
On what was that? Elkhorn
University, I think. I saw you there a few times.
Owned by Lana and Chris Henry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Chris Henry. Yeah, that's right. I've been watching his latest band, the Screaming Eagles.
Screaming Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were totally cool with us. They would let us play. We lit off fireworks when we were playing. But
4th of July, you would always have those sparklers.
But that's when like we met Dennis, and we became good friends with Paul from Rocket, and like John Lee, and they kind of said, oh, there's this band.
Take you under their wing.
They got funny hair and they all look alike. You know, but they're rocking, you know. So then we start playing. We would play Bodies, Casbah, a lot of shit. And then you could tell when you get kind of a following, you know, like because we're like kind of not opening, but like second band. And then like after we play, people would leave, and I was like, oh, you know. And then that's how we that was like 94.
Yep.
Because at 94,
that's probably when I first saw you at Bodie's.
But what was the other place? Giop's place.
Oh, Boiler Room. But that was I saw you at
95.
Yeah, that was 95.
So then that was 94. And then end of the year, we started Exile on Kettner.
That's right. December, and I got pictures of that. There were more people on stage than there were in the audience. And the only time that I know for a fact, because I got pictures, and the only time it really started selling out was when I flyered the hell out of San Diego, because I wanted to get people there for the live album I recorded.
Yeah, that was
98 or 99.
Yeah.
And it sold out every night.
Free, but there were no one. There was no one there. Yeah, I remember Julie D, DJ.
Yep. And John Lee would reenact the ultimate scene in the front row.
I know. Basically, it was us learning the Stone songs and everyone fucking around.
Yeah, but it was great.
It was fun. It was Christmas Eve.
Yep.
But yeah, that was 94, and then that's when we just kind of started.
And that's when you were able to, I guess, get on the road, because
we didn't tour. We did like the
South by Southwest every year. We did Japan.
Yeah, we do like Weekend Warrior type stuff. We started going up to Seattle and stuff, Portland. That was real cool. I loved it up there. And then there was like a good music scene in Seattle, so our first show was already kind of like well attended. It was like cool, like kind of like the Fastbacks guys being there, and and that was fun. And we just kind of did our own thing from there, and then you released our album in 96.
Yep.
Yeah, because so in 94 and 95 we were recording.
I put out the bootleg of you guys too.
Yep.
Which, I got that remixed too.
My friend, the singer from Fucked Up, Damien, he's like a huge record collector.
Yeah, a big wrestling fan too.
Yeah. And he was like, "Look what I got."
Oh wow, he has one. He has one of those. Yeah. Oh wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we started there. That's when we started kind of touring. So 94, 95, we got like free studio time and stuff like that, and that's when we're kind of like piecing together Painkiller. Yeah,
my regret is we used that studio. Where was it? Freaking San Marcos or something.
Yeah.
We should have gone right into double time and re-recorded the whole everything.
I always think, we should have did this, we should have did that, but I think we should have did it so way more garagey. Not like we're trying to.
Get me started.
We're like, we're going into nice studios.
Yeah.
And we should have just did it in a small studio, just live, and blew the speakers out type thing. But that's hindsight.
Well, I remember being in the studio when they were trying to mix it, and too many pots and the cooks in the pot and stuff. But I'm like, we need more guitars. You're a guitar band. You need more guitars. And Dave Jazz says, "Come here, we'll fix it in the mix. We'll fix it in the mastering." It's like, no, you won't.
Plus, like
that's a line.
It was different where now you could be 15 years old.
Yeah,
and know how to use Pro Tools. Back then it was like that was a big task. To mix and. So that's why, and then we were getting good deals because there were like students there, or like big starting out. But good songs.
Yep.
And then
and your best sounding record, I think, was the last one, Sin Salvation.
Yeah.
That sounded. That's how I wanted Painkiller to sound like.
That was at a super nice studio.
Yeah. Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, that's how I wanted Painkiller to sound like.
I kind of like the Rock and Roll Kamikaze.
That sounds great too.
That was a small studio, but that was we couldn't play live because the studio was so small.
Oh wow!
So we had to do everything part by part. But yeah. So we did all that touring Dragons. Going back to like '89 though, when we were doing M80, we had a free studio time, and this was like probably early '90 or late '89, and we were at a free studio, and this guy was teaching a class.
So that's how you get the free studio time.
There was this kid there. Nah, he wasn't a kid. He was like older than me, but he was like, you guys sound like what's happening in Seattle. Yeah. He was like, there's a lot of bands on Sub Pop that are like you guys, and I was like, oh. But Gonzalo knew all that shit,
Yeah.
He was listening to all these bands. Yeah. He knew Nirvana,
Yeah.
Before,
Yeah.
Soundgarden.
Me
I remember
too.
Devin used to always wear Soundgarden shit,
Yep.
But in the mid 90s to mid 2000s, we did the whole Dragons thing.
Yep. And then so the Dragons were together for what, 10, 11 years?
13? Accurate, yeah. 90 to 2000, 91 to 2004.
And you tried, but I guess you couldn't really take the plunge to be a full-time band.
Yeah.
I mean, it was too hard.
Yeah. I mean, what's so crazy is now that there were so many, like, scenes that we didn't even know about,
Yeah.
Like, there were, like...
New metal.
Not new metal, but like there was like kind of the garage, like the White Stripes and all those guys, Hives, they were like they were touring and kind of making a living off of it, But then there were like scenes where like all the what you call the emo bands like that were on Vagrant Records, like the the Get Up Kids and all that, and they were like touring in tour buses and all that, and I don't,
It seemed so risky to give up. I mean, Mario would have to give up his full-time job. He had a
I mean, there was a way to maneuver. I don't know. It just didn't happen. I mean, we did the best we can.
And did that disappoint you, or were you just feel like you were just doing what you could and that was it? It is what it was.
Yeah, I just didn't know enough. That there were pockets of this stuff going on that we probably didn't know about. Because there was no internet. I mean, there was internet, but not like now.
Yeah, well, I had a website for you guys before you guys even knew what a website was.
Yeah, but like it wasn't like now where it was so immediate.
Yeah.
Where
it was social media.
It was like Mario calling every club.
Yeah.
And booking shows, and then we finally got a booking agent, and that kind of became cool. But yeah, I don't know what's right. I don't know if it would have made a difference if we all quit our jobs and hit the road.
I mean,
9 months
I don't know, because it was.
Because then there were bands that were just were in LA that would just get signed.
You probably hindsight's 2020, but you probably would have needed to. Well, even Rocket from the Crypt, they didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, but
they were able to make a living off it, I guess, but. I think you would have to try to tour Scandinavia and stuff like that.
I mean,
be with the helicopters.
Yeah. I mean, you just have to do everything,
But yeah, that was a sacrifice and what a risk.
Yeah, when it happens, it happens.
I guess I should ask favorite memories of Steve.
Oh, too many. I don't. That's one of those I don't have any to.
Yeah,
but But a lot of the early days stick out, because it was just just meeting him, and we were like, it was me, Mario, and Steve, and it was the four of us, Jared, but even before Jared, that was pretty cool. It was cool meeting him. It was wild because one time where M80 was playing Texas Tea House, Steve, I didn't even know him back then. He walked up and looked in the door, didn't come in, and he left.
That's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, we hit it off immediately, pretty much, Mario and Steve are like big brothers to me, so yeah. But yeah, I mean, that kind of stuff,
Jeez, such a shock. I had
But yeah, almost 10 years.
Jeez, really? Yeah. Oh, poor Jamie and Jesse.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I have a lot of memories of that.
Yeah. Memories of the Dragons playing CBGB.
Oh, I was too sick.
So you were sick too.
Yeah.
Who was the one person? Yeah. You and Mario and
everyone but Jared.
Everyone but Jared, I guess.
Steve wasn't sick.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So the night before we played in Baltimore, and then they gave us, how clubs have like local menus from all the restaurants, and we got Chinese food.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think we ate like seafood noodles or whatever. And that night we get to a hotel, and Mario's like, I don't feel good type thing. And I was like, fuck. And then immediately afterwards, I ran into the bathroom. And I was like, oh my God. And then we drove to New York. We're like shaking. It's food poisoning.
Yeah.
So
oh my God.
Then we get to fucking CBGB, and then we're
the one show you probably wanted
the one bathroom.
Yeah, but the one show you wanted to like. It's the Mecca.
I got better for the show. It was probably some kind of adrenaline.
No, you guys pulled it up. Yeah. I remember standing there.
I remember you being there. You guys being there.
We were there separately. Like we had met, but we were. And
you were in the side, remember? Yeah. And you were taking pictures. I was like, dude, I'm so sick.
I was standing there with my friend Karen, and she's like, I'm like, I don't see them yet. I don't think they're. And then you guys, and I think I'd seen Ted, and he had heard from you guys, and he's like, oh, they're sick.
Yeah.
And you guys walked through, and it was like, oh my God,
it was me and Mario couldn't get up, and we were in the band or we were in the club, and Steve went around the corner and he got like a motel for us. He's like, I got a hotel for tonight. Man, after the show, I thought I was good, and I was hungry because I hadn't eaten, and I got like a pizza and a cheesecake, and that fucking put me back fucking 10 steps. I was like, oh my God.
Well, I remember during the show, I think Mario nodded at you or vice versa, said, yeah, I think we got it. I think we can make it through the set.
I remember the show, though.
Yeah.
I remember either you or Mario was saying, yeah, we brought merch, buy some merch, and you said, yeah, we need the money for Imodium.
Yeah, and then we went to Philadelphia, and I was still kind of sick. Yeah. It was like 2 days. Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, I just felt so bad for you guys because it's like Mecca, CBD, holy shit. And then you're sick. You're too sick to.
I'm glad we did it though.